What's up, everybody? Getting ready to dive into another week of door-to-door question and answers, role play. Excited to get you guys on here today. So as people pop on, remember the rule. You just got to post what you're struggling with, where you need help. And so I'm going to hang tight here as we get people joining us live and getting ready. Couple quick announcements. If you can get to Orlando, Florida, on June 14th. We're doing a massive question-based selling seminar. June 25th, we've got a mastermind that's going to be in Utah where you can fly in for a few days, food, meals, entertainment. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff, so you can make it to that. That's going to be a sweet event. That's also on my website. Go to www.reald2d.com for that mastermind group. Also, if you want the events, we've got quite a few events scheduled. They're going to be going to a lot of different locations near you. Orlando's our next stop, June 14th. That's www.reald2devents.com. So make sure you check that out. All right, guys, we've got people jumping on now. Make sure you're commenting, or if you want to get on a role play, hit me up. There we go. Got somebody on that's already chatting with us. Marshall, finally joined your live at the right hour, learning from you all the way from France. Welcome, brother, all the way from France. I love it. It's probably in the middle of the night for you right now. Love being in France. Love all the food. Oh, I'd weigh 1,000,000 pounds if I lived in France. Guys, what can I help with? Hit me up with some of your content. Marshall, if you want to call in, I'll put my phone number up here. Would love to work with you as far as getting out some of the problems that people are facing. But starting to build up a pretty good list, guys. Hey, call me, text me, message something online. Your advice works in there too. I can't say the word for word. Do you think is that your forever home? Because in French, it sounds like, do you think your house it's your house forever? Either way, it doesn't matter. Do you plan on living here forever? If you do, they're not your customer. If they say they're going to move at some point, Marshall, that's what we want them to say. And if they say we're going to move at some point, then you ask them, when will that be? Get a time frame. And you don't want to be pushy. Just ask them, hey, are you going to live in this house forever? That's really all you're asking them. And if they say no, it's like, cool. When do you think you would move? And do it. You don't want to do it pushy. You want to do it very relaxed and laid back and walking them through that process. So make sure you're asking them. Okay, so I think it's the last home question. Lower defense. Yep, that's it, Marshall. So just ask them if this is their last home. Are they going to die in this house? Do they plan on ever moving again? If they do, that's when you want to. And you guys, you should never be knocking in an area that it is their forever home. If you are and you're getting that a lot, this is where they're going to die. They're not ever moving again. Get out of those neighborhoods. Get into ones where there's a lot of transition, a lot of turnover, a lot of people moving. Okay. All right, guys. What other questions you have? Marshall, thank you for doing that. Marshall, I wish I spoke French. I'd love to chat with you. I speak Spanish, but I don't speak French. Hey, guys, what other things? Hit me up. Bunch of you are jumping on right now. I think the biggest thing that as we look at door to door, I get asked this all the time. I just want your scripts, Duane. I want your scripts. I want your scripts. I want your scripts. Guys, scripts are not going to help you get where you need to be. You're going to learn the scripts, but what I'm basically teaching you is question-based selling over time. It's going to be how to do what you do over time with each client that's different. It's going to be listening. It's going to be understanding what they're saying. Then it's going to be helping guide them through a process. Those are the things that you're mainly looking to learn with what I teach. And if you can learn these things, game over. There's not a person you can't sell. Now, there's a couple you can't sell, but the majority you will be able to walk through a process. And your closing ratios will go through the roof as you get really, really good at this. Marshall, my first question is, how many post box do you have to prospect? I have really a big area and I cannot door to door the whole area. So here's the thing. When you pick an area, don't pick a massive area you're never going to get through it. Pick an area where you can be there 3 to 4 weeks. And so less than 1,000 doors, and then be there a long term. Knock, 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 knock. Get through those houses, go back, go. You want to stay on the same street as long as you can. If you're knocking condos, you want to go back and forth. So people are seeing you in the area. You want to be known to people that you're in the area, you're not leaving, you do a lot of real estate. And that is how you start getting rapport. That's how you start building reputation. When signs start going up, that's when you start gaining credibility. And once you have credibility, rapport, and good information you're delivering to your clients, that is when you start closing a lot of deals. My first area, I sold 10 homes in one condo complex my first month in real estate. And actually, they were townhomes. But bottom line is, I got them because I started building credibility. When I knocked on those doors there towards the end, like, oh, you're Duane. You're the one that's selling all my neighbors' houses. What in the world? We don't like you. Right. And it was very easy. But do you know why everybody's selling? Let me talk you through some of the things that are happening. So really cool. Same street, less than 1,000 doors for 3 weeks minimum. Gotcha. Noted. Marshall, thank you. I really appreciate your comments. Looking forward to helping you guys, just take off. So more comments, guys, questions, hit me up. Marshall's the only one sounding right now. Let's dive in deep. Let's get someone willing to role play with me. Let's really dive into what we can do. Matt's that a boy. Hey, Duane, how do you handle high saturated neighborhood? Tell me, are you finding places where they're getting door knocked frequently with real estate, or are they getting knocked for alarms and pest control and satellite and solar and all the other things? What are they getting saturated with? Waiting for your response, my man. Really? That is awesome. That's crazy that many real estate agents knocking. What area are you in? So I'm going to tell you this. When I knocked alarms, I had tons of people that went through, and knocking, giving their pitch. One thing that I want to tell you, it doesn't matter. In reality, they forget about it within a month. And if you're like, hey, you're the fourth real estate agent that came by, awesome. Tell me what you learned from the last agent. What were your thoughts? What do you know about the market? Where are you headed? But be something different. And then learn how to question based sell them. So Matt's also look for another area. But I've never in my life had saturation as a real estate agent. But when we did with alarms, just say, hey, we do something completely different than what a lot of the agents have talked to you about. So did you say, is this your forever home? Or have you ever thought about buying, selling, or investing in real estate? And just redirect back into them and then literally just ask them questions. So what were your thoughts when that agent came by? How well do you know the real estate market? Did they educate you on what the market was doing, where it's headed, and where it's going to go in the near future? So dive into tons of questions, Matt. That will help people know that you're better, you're different, and then you can take off and go from there. Good, great question though. Great question. Got a call coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. Trying to think, is that one of you guys calling me? I'm going to send it to voicemail. And then let's see if they respond back. All right, guys, other questions? Got a bunch of people on now. What things can I do to help grow your real estate business today? Because one of the things that I want you guys to start looking at as you look at door-to-door real estate, too often you're looking to go get a contact. Too often you're looking to set an appointment. The mindset should be shifted to where you're going to get a client to work with right then. Now business. So focus on now business. Eric, love for you to jump on and get a ticket. RealD2DEvents.com. There it is, brother. Just sent you a link. So if you jump onto that, you can get a ticket and we can get you set up. Marshall, is D2D is good for listening. My agency had yes, it's absolutely good for listings. You always want to take the listing through the buy. So let me explain that a little deeper. When you knock on the door, I don't want you to say, hey, yeah, let's list your house. Okay. Only if it's a crazy seller's market and there's no way they're going to take a contingency. Even then, I want to get them excited about buying. Why? Because once people start looking at the buy, they get excited. You think about it. If you guys are going to go buy a new car, if you guys are going to go buy new furniture, if you guys are going to go buy something new, that new and shiny gets exciting. It's motivating. And you're ready to make it happen as soon as you start finding things that you love and can start picturing you in it. So that's why you always want to take a list through a buy. As soon as you put someone under contract on a purchase, do you know how easy that listing appointment is? Oh my gosh. It is simple. And that's where you win. So yes, Marshall, you always want to take the listings. That's what we're after is listing appointment, especially with all the NAR stuff that's going down, especially with all the things that are happening with real estate. Listing is where it's going to be. You need to learn how to negotiate really well to get those listings. And that's all going to come through the bias. It's all going to come through question-based selling. It's all going to come by getting out and getting in front of the people today. Rosa, thank you for commenting. I have an agent that is saturating the neighborhood with ads and has lots of listings. Okay. I don't care. I don't even care. I'll go knock a neighborhood where the top real estate agent in the state is. Why? Because I'm going to catch the people that don't catch their ads. I'm going to be face to face. I'm going to be a person. I'm going to be a live wealth of knowledge right in their face. And I'm going to be personable versus, oh yeah, I'm just going to go with this agent that's doing all the listings in the neighborhood. I want to go and take over his market share or her market share, and I want to go win those listings. So that's really what you got to start thinking about. Don't get the scarcity mindset, Rosa, where you're like, I can't win this other agent. Go and dominate them, be better than them, and win all of their listings and start picking from them. Okay. And I think, Rosa, the biggest thing is, even though everybody knows him, you just got to be that much more competitive and better. And if it's too much for you right now, if you're newer and haven't sold a lot of real estate, bounce into another subdivision until you get confident and then go start taking listings. I take it as a challenge. I love it. If there's an agent that's dominating an area, I want to go take their listings from them. And so I want to get in there and steal clients and win neighborhoods before they do. And it's just a challenge for me. And I love it. Love it. Eric, Secrets of Question-Based Selling is the book you recommend, correct? No. I'm writing a book right now, Eric. You're going to have to check that one out. But Psychology of Selling is the one you need to get. Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. That is a fabulous book. It's where I started. I listened to that book. I read that book and then started formulating all my own questions based off of that. Okay. Other questions, you guys? Hit me up. Let's do this. Here we go. Eric, the website isn't working for me. What? I'm going to check it right now. Maybe I gave you the wrong stuff. Checking it. No, it's working. Here, let me just copy and paste this link. Oh, I didn't give you an S. That was my bad, brother. It's D2D events. I didn't put the S on there. That was my bad. So thank you for catching that. But yes, guys, get on there and let's get you to these events. Jonathan, thank you. Having tons of success since getting off my butt and door knocking instead of sitting around watching the pipeline to mature or waiting for the pipeline to mature. Was invited into 12 homes in the first 2 weeks. Jonathan, dude, that's money. Now, if you can perfect your pitch, you'll start closing a bunch of those deals. How many of the 12 deals did you actually close? How many are you showing houses to right now? How many do you have under contract? Because in reality, you guys, I really want you to get contract heavy and start looking at every appointment of how many did I put under contract this week? Okay. And if we're not putting people under contract, if you got 12 swings at the bat, Jonathan, and you didn't put somebody under contract, we need to definitely help you to where you can knock those out of the park. Jonathan responded, 3 are coming to market within the next month, other 3 later this summer. So Jonathan, I want to help you with those because everyone that say, hey, we're going to go later this summer, they probably won't list with you. So I want you to help them get under contract now with you. And that's a simple role play that we help them understand why it's better to do it now than later. And then we walk them through that process. They're signed. Good work, dude. You got them already signed. That's fabulous. So well done. You still want to push them now, so they're now clients, and that's money. So did you sign 6 out of the 12, Jonathan? That's crazy. Marshall, how many conversations do you have an hour? Do we have those questions? If it is 20 plus conversations from 2 to 8 p.m., I have 5 conversations an hour. Is that enough? It's 15 minutes per conversation. Marshall, here's the thing. You got to get to where you're closing very good. You've got to get to where you're reading people very good. So I wouldn't tie it into a one size fits all shoebox that you have to put every conversation. If it's going longer than 20 minutes, you say, I'm out of here. I got to go talk to the next person. Get to the point where you're closing the people that give you the opportunity to close and recognizing people won't close quickly and bouncing to the next door. Sometimes you're going to do 30 or 40 doors per hour. Sometimes you're going to do 10. So you just have to really dial into what's happening, how they're corresponding to you, what questions they're answering, how many closes they're making, and are they your client? If they're not, kick them to the curb, find one that is. Rosa, what if a seller is asking you how many homes you have sold and you are really new and you haven't sold too many homes? How do you respond to that? Use the words we. Rosa, join my EXP team and say we sell over this many homes per year. Okay. I am on a team. My coaching program, jump in my coaching program. Use that. We sell. We. I know that sounds like French to you, Marshall. Yes. We sell this many homes. That way you're not lying by saying I sell this many homes. We sell this many homes, meaning you have support, you have a team, you have a coach, you have a trainer, you have a mentor, you have all of these things. Use that, Rosa, and tell you. And if he comes out and says, hey, and they question you, but how many homes have you personally sold? Just say, well, I'm brand new, but that's why I have a full team to support me and help me, is so that I can get to be very, very experienced. My team leader, you can use me, sells over $30 million a year in real estate, and he's hand in hand with me as we go through this process. Okay. So use a group like that. Lucas, Duane, about to start door knocking for the first time. Any tips on what to bring with me? It's going to be totally up to you. What I bring with me, that's it, brother. I'm taking my phone with me and that is it. Okay. Why? I'm not a flyer boy. I don't want to knock on the door and then think, oh, this is a telemarketer. I don't have a name badge across my chest that says Duane with EXP. Okay. I don't have a binder. I'm not handing out flyers or business cards or any of that. I'm there to earn your business. So that's all I'm going to take. Now, Jeremy takes an iPad with him and he does really well even with an iPad. So totally up to you, but he's not handing out CMAs. He's not doing market analysis on the spot. He's going and earning now business. So Lucas, I would definitely go out, try it and see, what you're doing. Jonathan, dude, you're insane. If you close 6 out of those 12, that's money, brother. Do you know how much money you just made by getting out door knocking? Now what you need to do is ramp it up and get to where you're doing that every week. You know how much money you're going to make if you do that? Even if you start closing 6 a month, that's 72 transactions. Cash is real, brother. We need to chat about that because we have a lot of growth and opportunity. If you guys want to join my EXP team and or get into the coaching. Now, remember, the key purpose of us doing this is to get you to 15 million in production so then I can recruit and build a team underneath you and expand and grow this door-to-door program. It's going to be insane, guys. You got to jump on the bandwagon while we're growing it and helping get there. We've got about 30, 35 people in coaching right now. We're about 55 people on the team side, and we're just getting started. In fact, I'm meeting with 3 marketing companies today to start marketing. You're going to see some massive growth. Our growth over the next 3 years, my goal is to have 1,000 people into our team side. So if you want to jump on that bandwagon and make a bunch of money growing with us, make sure you reach out to me today. And my number's on there, but I'm going to say it again, 801-243-4544. Eric, do you keep track of the people you talk to / people you didn't answer? So Eric, yes. In fact, I am building a door knocking app as we speak for real estate agents that will be your CRM. We'll keep track of all of your data, and it's going to be insane. There's a lot of those out there for door-to-door alarms and pest and solar and all of that. There's not a real estate related one. I'm building it right now, and you guys will see a massive uptake in your business as you use it. You'll be able to send handwritten letters right from the app. We're making it to where it's got all your follow-up systems. We're making it to where you can track what people say at the door. So what I do currently and what I've always done, Eric, is I pull up, I have an iPhone. I'm going to click my notes tab. I'm going to start at the front of the street where I park. If that's Cedar Drive, I'm going to write down every house as I walk down before I even start knocking. I'm going to write 1517, 1518, 1519, 1520 as I go down the street. And I've got every house. So when I knock on that door, they don't answer. I'm going to put NH, not home. Okay. They just tell me to get off their porch. I'm going to say NI, not interested. But yes, I'm going to track every little detail. Then you can find out other details where you want to be more elaborate and say, met with Steve. He wants to talk to Annie, his wife. Annie really wants to move. These guys are solid. Follow back up with them after 8 o'clock tonight. And that's the details I'll put in there. But yes, you want to track every door, because the last thing you want to do is knock on that not interested door and say, hey, it's Duane with EXP again. They're like, dude, I just saw you 4 hours ago and I told you to get off my porch. That's not what you want. So make sure you keep good track. Marshall, got to thank you, and sorry for my bad English. Marshall, no problem, brother. Thank you for your efforts in doing all of this, and you're doing it in another language. That's impressive. So keep up the good works. Vera, in my market, there's no single family homes, only apartment buildings, and they don't have HOA policies, but buildings have an intercom system to enter. How do I knock such prospects? Holy cow. Vera, where were you at? What area? If they're apartment complexes, I would bounce to single family homes. And you say there are no single family homes, period? It's all just apartment buildings? I would look and find some single family homes, townhomes, condos, starter homes. Because if people are just living in apartments, it's going to be hard to get through an intercom system to every person. We'll have to think of something different for you. Jonathan, just a tip for everybody. Not all days are great. Make sure you stay out until you have a good conversation to finish your day off and keep on a positive to keep you motivated for tomorrow. Absolutely. So you guys, there's going to be bad days. There's going to be hard days. There's going to be days we bagel. I call that the bagel, right? When you get 0. Mr. Strong, bro, dude, you're back. Love it. Watched the rerun from last week. But that open house tip you gave was awesome and a great perspective. Tuning in now from my Grease Monkey job. I love it. Grease Monkey, you realtor. Dude, get out of Grease Monkey and let's go sell you a ton of houses. Oh, you're in Tel Aviv. Oh my goodness. Welcome, Vera from Tel Aviv. That is insane. Yeah, that is crazy that you're not struggling, that you're not finding single family homes. So are these apartments, are they actually owned? If they are, do a pitch through there. Do a pitch through the intercom. Just say, hey, this is Vera, I'm a real estate agent. A lot of people are curious about what our market's doing. I'd love to chat with you for a minute. Can I get through the gate? And if you can get through the gate, then just start knocking homes. Okay. Not interested at all, Eric. Give me some context on that. Who's going to call in? Who's going to role play with me today? Dude, we need a role player. Come on. Who's going to call me? I got a lot of that when I went knocking. Okay, Eric, let's do it. You got my number. Pulling the microphone over. Maryland, brother. Are you from Maryland?
Yes, sir.
I love it, dude. Thanks for calling in.
Of course. Thanks for answering the phone.
So here's the thing, man. If you're getting a lot of I'm not interested out of the door, it's a couple things. Where are you standing? As soon as you knock.
Well, so I've only been door knocking. I'm just going to preface this, but I've only been door knocking maybe 4 or 5 times in the last 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
But when I knock on the door, I do the shave and the haircut knock, and then I take a couple steps back, maybe like 6 feet or so. That's kind of about where I'm at.
Okay, give me your stature. How tall are you?
I'm 5'11", 5'11" and a half on a good day.
Okay, that's good. That's good. How are you positioning yourself to the door? Are you straight shouldered to the door, or are you angling like this?
I'm kind of angled to the side a little bit, maybe like a 3/4 turn, not like 90 degrees.
Okay. I would angle, to where you're almost 45 to them. That way you don't come across intimidating to them.
Okay.
Then what does your body language say? Talk to me about that.
Well, I'm kind of like looking around, smiling. I'm looking up at their house. I'm looking at their garden and things like that. I'm not like staring down the door.
Okay.
So
like, are you confident? Are you scared? Are you nervous? What is your body saying?
That's a good question. I don't think I'm nervous when I'm there, but I don't know if that's what's coming across.
Okay. Have you recorded any of your door approaches?
No, I have not.
Okay, I want you to do that for me.
I don't know if I can in Maryland.
Well, I don't know that I ever asked, but maybe that's a bad thing. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's not like you're going to sell this. It's literally for your own benefit of you recording how you're doing. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I just recorded on my phone. I don't believe I've ever asked. And I've recorded in probably 15 or 20 states.
Okay.
And maybe it's against the law. So hopefully I'm not going to get in trouble. Here I am live on YouTube telling people I record myself. I do it. Now, in fact, I've recorded in Maryland. I've knocked Maryland.
That's awesome.
Okay. So I've knocked Baltimore and a bunch of the cities outside of Baltimore. Point is, I want you to record yourself for one reason. That will help me tell what your body's doing. So what are the first words out of your mouth? I open the door. Go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Eric. How are you doing today?
I'm all right.
Very good. Well, I just wanted to reach out and introduce myself. I don't know if you saw this house around the corner.
Okay, let's pause.
Go ahead, yeah.
So you're starting by, hey, how are you doing? Now, I know that's common courtesy, but tell me, do you want to chit chat with somebody at the door?
Me personally, not really.
Okay, why don't you?
Because I'm in my house.
There's a million things you'd rather be doing, right?
Sure.
Mine is cleaning the toilet.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So that being said, you can't start out, because the minute you start out with, hey, how you doing? I want to introduce myself. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking if I knock on your door and I say that to you?
I never asked you to introduce yourself to me.
Okay. What's my secondary conversation? Do you guys know what a secondary conversation is?
I'm not familiar.
I'm going to teach you guys this at my conference in Orlando, so make sure you come. But secondary conversations is what they're thinking behind the scenes, what they're not verbalizing. So when someone knocks at your door, what's your secondary conversation soon as you open the door without them even saying a word if it's a salesperson?
What are you trying to sell me?
Okay. And then what does that mean to you? Do you want to sit and listen? Do you want to know what they want to sell you?
No, not particularly, because
okay.
I don't feel like I need anything at the time.
There we go. So your initial first conversation, secondary conversation is, I want you off my porch. I want you gone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you knock on that door and you say, hey, my name is Eric. How are you doing? Right? Let me introduce myself. It's giving them like 6 or 7 seconds right there that they can say, I'm not interested. See ya.
Yeah. That's
why you're getting so many no's. Okay. So one thing that you want to do is you want to be quick, direct, and to the point. When you knock on that door, hey, my name is Duane, the EXP. Did your neighbors tell you he's going to stop by and see you? Why do I hit them with that question?
It throws them off a little bit.
It's called a focus redirect. So their focus when they open that door is, I'm getting rid of Eric.
Yeah.
Instead, they go, my neighbors. Which my neighbors? No one told me about that. But it causes them to immediately have to think and redirect their mindset.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
Okay. 99% of the time, they're going to say no. Now, am I being deceptive? Am I being mean? Am I being a liar at the door? No, I'm not. I'm simply asking them a question. Did your neighbors tell you that I was going to come by and see you? That's it. It's a simple question. I have had people light me up over that. It's like, guys, I'm not being dishonest. I'm not being deceptive. I'm just asking them a simple question. Now they can say yes or no. And then I've had this question. Well, what happens if they say which neighbor? Well, that's easy. I'm going to respond back. Hey, I provide a lot of value to all your neighbors. Oftentimes it travels ahead of me, so that when I open the door, they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, some neighbors told me that I should listen to you, that you know a lot about real estate. And, I've had that happen, you guys. So just say, I don't have a neighbor in particular that said that, but because I provide such good information, a lot of times people will call their neighbors and say, hey, when Duane comes by, make sure you answer the door. And then they blow it off and go, okay, move on. So here's your steps I want you to take. Hey, my name is Duane of the XP. Did your neighbor say he was going to come by and see you? It's got to be quick. They're going to say no. Cool. Have you guys ever thought about buying, selling, or investing in real estate? I don't even want them to know what I'm doing until I ask them if they've ever thought about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And guess what? 90% of the people are going to say no. I want to know. And I know you guys are thinking, Duane, you're crazy. Why do you want to know? Because I want them to not have talked to an agent, planned out their path. Because if I can guide them through a process and get them to say yes with me right now, guess what? I just got 2 deals. I got to buy and a sell. And it's not that hard to get if you're knocking the right neighborhoods. So when they say, no, we haven't considered buying or selling, my next question is, cool, is this your forever home? And if you're knocking the right stuff, it's always going to come back as a no. Then what are you going to say, Eric? Keep going from there.
Oh, is this your forever home?
Yep.
Are you saying yes, that's your forever home?
Nope, it's not. No, we won't be here forever.
Gotcha. Well, can you tell me a little more about what that forever home might need for you?
No, it's so far out we don't even know.
Gotcha. So how far out are you thinking? Obviously not today or tomorrow.
Okay, Eric, that's the first question you asked. Don't get into the details, okay? Because if you start saying why do you want to move? What changes do you want to make? What's that forever home look like? Is it in their mind something that they are thinking about having happen right now?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. So as soon as they start telling you, oh, I want a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Oh, it means a lot to us because then we'll have more of an area for our kids and our dogs to play. In the back of their mind, they're going, Eric, dude, get lost, dude. This is not going to happen anytime soon. So I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So where you've got to go, you've got to keep them on task.
Tell me about your timeline.
You got it. Timeline is the first question you're going to ask. So when they say, oh, it's going to be about a year, what's your next question?
Great. What happens in a year?
That's just when we figured it would make enough money to be able to do it.
Gotcha. I guess I'm curious. If you could figure out, if you could make it move, if you could make a move sooner rather than later and save a bunch of money, would you even consider it?
Yes, potentially. So I want you to rephrase that question.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Say that question again, how you said it.
So, if you found out that you could move sooner rather than later and save a bunch of money, would you even consider it?
Okay. So found out, right? We want to cut your questions have to be short and pointed. So the first thing I want you to say is, if I could save you a bunch of money, notice how I'm using money first.
Mm-hmm.
By you moving sooner, would you consider it?
Got it.
See how much different that question is? Because what is the number one thing for most clients that is the most important to them? Money. So what did I hit first? Money. You got it. So you got to go there first.
Bless you.
Thanks. So you've got to capture their interest of what they care about first. So I'm going to say money. If I can save you a bunch of money by doing it sooner, would you consider it? I say yes. Now, by me telling you yes, Eric, what am I telling you?
That you're open to continuing the conversation.
Well, dude, I'm not even open to it. Eric, I want you to tell me how.
Oh, yeah, true.
Not am I open to listening, but how can you do that? I don't believe you. Okay, where are you going to go?
Well, I'd probably ask them I'll just continue to role play.
Love it.
So, what are your thoughts on what's going on in the real estate market right now?
Okay. Well, notice we got to go way shorter, way sharper.
Way shorter.
Hey,
What have you heard about the real estate market?
I don't know. How about this question? Are you guys writing these down? I hope you're writing these down.
Well, I'm writing these down. Yeah.
How well do you know the real estate market?
How well?
Okay. What if they say, I know it really well? What if they say, I don't know it really well? Does it matter?
No.
Okay. What's your next question?
That's a good question.
Guys, you really have to have 40 to 50 questions dialed in. And that's what you're going to get from getting in our programs is I'm going to help you get so freaking good at having that dialed in that you will never question. I'm going to be 5 or 6 questions ahead of my clients every time. Okay, next question I'm going to ask. Do you think the market's going to go up or down? Now, do I care what they say? Yes or no?
I'd say yes, because it kind of opens up if they're pessimistic about their next moves or optimistic.
Okay. I don't really care if they say yes or no, because if they say no, then I know I have a little bit more work to do to help them understand that our market isn't going to crash.
Yeah.
And I actually like it when they say no, they think it's going to crash, because then if I can show them how it's not going to crash, guess what? I just want a client super easy. But I also like it when they say yes at this one too, because that also helps me to say, if you don't do this sooner, you're going to lose a bunch of money, which they don't want to do. And I win another client super easy. So when I ask that question, do you feel like the market's going to go up or down? They have 2 choices. They got to choose up or they got to choose down. There's my balloons. Love it. So from there, what's my next question? It's one word. Why? Why? Why do I feel like it's going to go up? Why do I feel like it's going to go down? From that question, they start talking. Well, we feel like the market's going to crash because of inflation. We feel like the market's going to go up because everything is going up around us and there's no homes. As they start talking, I'm going to use the information they're giving me that will allow me to close them. This is where it gets crazy, you guys. You have to listen, because whatever they say is true, whatever you say is not. Because all you're doing, Eric, when you say something is you're trying to convince them to want to buy a house so you make a commission.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if it's 100% true and they know it's true, they will not buy with you. It's got to come from their mouth. So if I say, hey, let's just pick up. Yeah. In Maryland right now, the prices are going through the roof. A lot of people are moving out of New York and all the other metropolitan crazy big cities and moving down into Maryland. And our home prices have jumped a ton. So we feel like the market's going to go up. What's our next question?
Do you think that that's going to help you or hurt you?
I think it's going to hurt me.
Tell me more about that.
Well, I mean, just as they keep coming, the prices are going to continue to climb.
And what does that mean for your home's value?
I mean, it's going to go up too. That's a good question. It's going to go up too. So I probably should just wait and ride my home value up. Is that a good question or a bad question?
That's a bad question.
Love it. Love it. So from there, when we say the prices are going to go up, what do you expect the prices to do over the next 5 years? How much do you think they're going to go up?
Oh, was that the question that I asked them at the door?
That's what I would ask. Something similar to that.
Okay.
So if you waited, if they and go back to their time frame, if I told you a year, so if you wait a year, how much more is that home going to cost you?
Oh, God.
Notice how you make it personal?
Yeah. I feel like you just gathered a bunch of intelligence from those previous questions and are now like creating custom questions.
Yes.
At this point moving forward to make it like more personal, but like more of a like almost like a consultative approach, if that makes sense.
Eric, you're nailing it. That's what this is all about. I have people on YouTube comment, they're like, dude, if you ask me that many questions, I'd kick you off my porch. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to sell everybody, but guess what? You can't make it a robotic thing. And that's why scripts don't work for me, just to hand everybody a script on here to say, hey, go use this and you're going to close everybody. I've got to tailor it to Eric. If it was a year, it's going to be a year. And you're right. I'm gathering a bunch of intel that I can use to customize an approach to close that individual person.
Yeah. But it also makes me realize how important it is to kind of have a question bank lined up so that wherever the conversation does eventually lead, I have I'm still actively listening, but like knowing those questions
Yes.
in the back of my head, I'm able to formulate questions while I'm actively listening to them.
Yes.
To kind of continue to move the goal.
Eric, you're on it. That's 100% right. You have to have the questions. And where you get all the questions is by repeat. We do role play groups twice a day, you guys. Twice a day because it's that important.
Wow.
In all of my programs, it's twice a day that you are role playing because you have to get to where you can formulate the questions. Right now, we're going over one objection. It's a timing objection. That's it. And I can spend months on the timing objection. I can come at you with different ways. I can come at you with, hey, I need to make more money. It's still a timing objection, but you're going to come at it a different way. I can come at you like, no, our kids are going to move. Our kids are going to graduate, and I can't do it till they graduate. It's still a timing objection. Notice all the different ways I can spin a timing objection. And that's just a quick couple I'm throwing to you right off the top. But the bottom line is that's why it's so important to get in and learn all of these questions so that they can understand it. Now, as we going back to our role play, and I won't keep going, we're already 45 minutes in. But the point is, as you get to this point where you're saying, you know, what's home price going to do over the next year? And how much more money is it going to cost you? If they give you a dollar amount, which they will, it's going to cost me $50,000 more. Now, I'm sure you have a great job. Are you going to make $50,000 more in wages over the next year?
No, not really.
And no one's going to be able to say yes. No one will. Okay. Now, what do you think is going to happen? Now I'm going to shift gears. What do you think is going to happen to interest rates? Do you think they're going to go up or down?
I think they're going to have to stay up.
Okay. And why do you think that?
Because it's the only lever that the Federal Reserve has against inflation. And we just continuously see inflation numbers.
Right.
Not backing down.
Now, how many people are able to afford the home prices where they're at with these interest rates?
I'd say less than there were when they were 3-4% for sure.
Correct. So do you think at some point they'll end up having to come down so people can afford a home?
Eventually for sure. I think that might have to be the scenario.
So you look at last year, we had the lowest number of home sales since 1963. Do you think our supply stopped? Do you think people didn't need to buy houses anymore?
Mm-mm. No, people still had to, of course.
So let's say the interest rates drop to 4% again. What do you think is going to happen to our market?
Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath.
What do you mean by that?
I feel like there's going to be lines out the door for open houses. I remember what it was like during COVID, and there was sight unseen offers being made, super competitive, sometimes 30, 35 offers on a single house.
Yeah. And how much were they going over list price?
Easily 50 grand.
Eric, do you see I'm walking you through this?
Yeah, 100%.
And guys, then I'm going to dive into buyers and sellers market. Is this a buyer's market right now or a seller's market? What happens in a buyer's market? Can you negotiate price? How much can you bring the price down? Can you get closing costs? How much closing costs can you typically get? Okay. Do you get repairs? See all these questions I have just lined up. Now, if that market shifts and it turns into a seller's market, can you get repairs? Can you get negotiation on closing costs? Can you bring down the home price? And you take those numbers plus the other numbers and you add them together. How much of a swing is it if you don't buy now? So it makes sense for you to start looking at homes if you could find the right home today.
Yeah.
I think I just asked you 15 questions right in a row without even waiting for a response.
I know, that was crazy.
Right? So guys, as you think about this, and we won't keep going through because I've got to answer a bunch more questions and I don't want to keep these too long. But it just goes to show you coaching and training is so important to get you where you want to be. And this is just one avenue. I mean, we can go through a ton of different avenues. I absolutely love being the client because I throw my agents hate to role play with me, hate it, because I can know where you're going to go and I'll throw you off and stump you on purpose, simply because I want you to listen to what the client's saying, how to interact with the client, how to sell that client their way, not your way. Because what happens, Eric, once you get a bunch of those questions down, you start to make it your idea on how you present the questions instead of theirs. And you don't guide them through the process the same way.
Yeah.
You start to make it, oh, it's my idea. I'm gonna sell you this way. And if that round peg doesn't fit in that square hole, you're like, crap, off to the next door. How you sell everybody is you have that plethora of questions, but then you use them correctly. And that's how I got to the point where I was closing every 7 doors that opened and talked to me. I'd pick a listing.
Can I ask one question about
Yes.
your questions?
Yes.
Well, it might be 2. What's the difference between a good question and a bad question in your mind? And then also, what's a good framework to design a good question?
So for me, a good question is going to allow the client to speak. You do not want to ask short questions. You don't want to ask like questions they're going to give a short response to. Yes or no. It's horrible. Okay. You want them to give a long response. Okay. You want to ask short pointed questions that allow them to give a long response. And your questions have to get them to give you critical information. Just like you caught earlier. Mm-hmm. It gets me a ton of information that I can then use to close you.
Yeah.
And they don't know it. And one of my favorite things to do, Eric's, when I'm on in an approach or doing a sales pitch, we're like, oh my gosh, you totally just closed me and I didn't even know what you were doing. I love that. It makes me feel so freaking happy. It's like, yeah, I did. And you had no clue what I was doing, but it's an art that you learn and it's fabulous. The second question you asked me, what was that?
How do you formulate or design a framework to create a really great question?
So for me, when I started designing, because all these questions you guys I built, there's not a book that's going to give you these. There's not a system. I've knocked doors for 15 years. Okay.
Yeah.
All of these are stuff that I've built. How I built my questions was I went through, I would be the hardest person in the world to sell to. I openly admit it. If you knocked on my door, good luck. Right. What would someone have to say to me in order for me to engage with them? How would I have to sell myself? And if you're one of those personalities where it would be really hard for you to buy from a door-to-door person, what would they have to say to you? What questions would they have to ask? How would they make it? It would 100% have to be my idea. Because if it wasn't my idea, there's no way in heck you're selling me. So how am you going to make it my idea to buy real estate with you today?
I like that perspective shift. Like if I was at my own door kind of deal.
Yes. That's how I built every one of my questions. And you know what? What's hilarious? My first day I started knocking doors, I went out and I laughed myself off the door. I mean, laughed myself off the door. Going, oh my gosh, Duane, that was horrible. I was doing what a lot of you guys are probably doing. But I was like, there's no way in heck that I would buy a product from me. If I knocked on my door and I said that to myself, I would be like, holy cow, slam the door, get me out of here. And I laughed and I recorded it. And I'd go back and go, okay, I screwed up here and here. Here's what I need to ask. Here's where I need to start. And then I went and did another door. By the end of the day, I sold my first alarm. By the end of the day, just critiquing and changing and listening to my pitch, seeing how far I got. By the end of the day, I sold my first alarm. And I had zero idea about the product. I didn't know what it did. I didn't know anything about the contracts. I didn't know how to do the paperwork. But I had sold my first alarm just by simply having the grit and determination to get out there and grind. And then made it a game. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get a little bit better. I've got to change this. I've got to change this way. This is why I got to say this. And I built a pitch. And then it just formulated over time.
Wow.
Okay. Well, Eric, dude, thank you for jumping on. I would love to chat with you more about what we're doing. Eric, you should give me a call after we get off here. And I'd love to chat with you guys, I am so confident if you guys could get into our programs, I can not only double your production, I bet you I could triple or quadruple your production in a short period of time. We have agents that are killing it. I mean, I've got this last week, we had multiple agents take 3 or 4 listings in the week. And that's what I'm talking about. We had one agent take 5 listings last week. This is where you take your business to the next level. And so I'd love to chat with anybody that's interested in getting on our teams or into coaching or some of the seminars we're doing. Remember, this isn't about me just wanting to make money on you guys. I literally want to get you guys to where you're leadership, to where we can build teams underneath you, you doing exactly what I teach you. That's where this gets big. True leadership pulls everybody up with them. So Eric, I appreciate you calling in today. Let's get on a call after and let's chat. I want to go through all the rest of the questions, but thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
We'll see you. So Zach, dude, you came to our last question or our seminar we did on social media. So it's great to see you on here again. Vera, yes, owned, often rented, but last time I had a viewing and snuck out to door-to-door knocking was efficient, but it's not a strategy I use with many apartment buildings. So yeah, that's going to be a hard one, Vera. That's a hard market. So see what you can do to get appointments, but I would do it through the intercom. Hey, I'm at your house right now. I do real estate. The real estate market's changing like crazy. I'd love to chat with you a little bit more about the market. Can I come up? Marshall, 6'4", that a boy. I definitely angle yourself. All right, Vera, I'm 5'1". Even at 5'1", Vera, and women are completely different. Women aren't as intimidated. So honestly, most women don't have to worry about angling or doing any of that at the door. Pattern interrupt. Love it. Game film. That's something I really like to do. Guys, the way I always teach my training is you're going to hate practice, but you're going to love game day because I am hard to role play with. Practice sucks. And I'm going to hold you accountable like no other. But game days, when that money comes into the bank account and you're closing deals, you're going to love me. So it's a lot of fun. Ty, do you knock in no soliciting areas? Most of all neighborhoods around my area are all no soliciting communities, or at least all the ones with the HOA, which is the majority. Ty, it's kind of hard. All depends on what you're doing. All depends on how thick your skin is. I have knocked a lot of no soliciting neighborhoods, and people get pissed. They yell at you. You get HOA presence called. You have the police show up. Be cautious. I mean, I've knocked it. I've sold in no soliciting areas, but you are going to run across a lot more confrontation. Make sure you get a city license in those areas, because if the cops do get called on you, it'll be good to have a door-to-door solicitor's license. Okay. But if you're getting a lot of pushback, go find, out of the townhomes, condos, HOAs, go find a smaller single family development and pound that. Okay. Strong bro, what you prefer, giving a ballpark figure rather than just say a bunch of money? I've done both. I've done $50,000 to $60,000. I've done a bunch of money. Depends on your clientele. That's another. I do a lot of studying of people. So I go through a lot of personality types in the door-to-door approach. So when you knock on the door, there's the bull, the owl, the tiger, and the lamb. And you can look at the personality type and decide where you want to go. Some people, if you throw $50,000 to $60,000 out, they immediately go the analytical type, the owl. It's going to be like, yeah, I don't believe him. That's not true. He's a liar. Now, if you say to some people, if you say a ton of money, they're like, yeah, right. Or really a ton of money? Yeah, I want to listen. So it all depends on your personality type that you're dealing with. There's a lot more psychology that goes into that. Amit, I get a lot from renters that say they don't have money to buy now. How do you overcome that? Amit, that is one that I love because I can show you how to come up with money. Okay. Save that for next Monday. Let's go over that pitch. And it's going to start by, hey, can I get a little bit personal with you? Do you have credit card debt? Do you have loans? What debt do you have? How much do you pay on your rent? And I'm going to walk them through a process that goes that way. Holy cow. Ty, same issue. About a third of the doors I knock are renters and they simply cannot afford or cannot qualify for a loan. How do you combat that? A lot of people don't think they can qualify for homes, Ty, and they do. You can get down to a 580 credit score and still qualify people. So make sure that, you're not disqualifying them because they say they don't qualify. A lot of people don't qualify because they don't know they can, and they just don't have enough information for you to close them. And so that's where you come in and ask a lot of questions and guide them through a process. Jeremy Davis, the beast. He's on here with us. I love it. Nicholas, I'm new to your information. I just found you right now. How much does it cost? Call me right after. Nicholas, I'm throwing my number on the bottom. You can call Jeremy. If you guys are not following Jeremy Davis, you guys need to make sure you add him. He is a beast. Sold 75 homes his first year, all door to door. Make sure you're following all of our content. And guys, if you don't have any cash right now and want to get some of our free training, make sure you share some of our reels and videos and then tag Jeremy and I in it. And we're doing a drawing at the end of the month. We're going to hook somebody up with some free seminars and also some free courses. So make sure you're taking part in that. Jeremy said, our daily role play sessions are no joke. Handful of top producers nationwide going at it. Hard to go to the doors after that and not crush it. And it's like, okay, done. But if they don't have the house to sell to close that credit card debt, that makes it a little bit harder. Emmett, you're right. If they don't have any money, but also a lot of them don't, if you can look at what they're paying for rent and you can get them into a starter of some sort with zero down, there's a lot of government programs out there. And if not, Emmett, then it's a condition. And if it's a condition, you cannot help them. It's like, hey, I have a 300 credit score. I don't care what I do with that person. I can't sell them a house. Oh, I have a 90-day late on my mortgage. Sorry, I can't sell you a house. Regardless of how much I like you, regardless of how much magic I can pull for you, I am not going to sell you a house unless I do seller financing. And that's another place to go look, is start looking at seller financing gigs. So lots of different ways to skin a cat, you guys. But yes, you've got to, and maybe that was a horrible thing to say. That's a bad saying. I know you cat lovers out there are going to call me and go, Duane, quit saying stuff like that. I already got in trouble for saying that stupid dog when they bark like crazy on the doors. But anyway, people, I'd love to help you grow in your program. Nicholas, I'd love to chat with you. Make sure you text or call me or Jeremy right after. We have a bunch of different packages. So I just want to see where you're at and what's going to work best for you. But guys, I appreciate you being on today. Remember, next Monday, 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We're going to do this again and again and again. And we're going to help you guys explode your business. Wait, Jay just text. Can you repeat again about your pick one? Wait, about pick one the end of the month. Jay, I'm not sure I understand your question. Jeremy, can we have your phone number? Yes, Jeremy, throw your number in the line too. Jay, what's your question about the end of the month? Oh, yes, I think I know what you're saying. What I want you guys to do is take a bunch of our stuff and share it and tag Jeremy and I in it. Just hashtag Duane Richins door-to-door realtor, Jeremy Davis door-to-door realtor. Make sure you tag our handles in that, share our content with other people. We are going to pick whoever shares the most content and give them some free courses or give you free access to our seminar in Orlando. We're going to start giving away a lot of free products as we grow this business and start marketing. I think the biggest problem we have right now is a lot of people don't know of us. Nicholas just found us today. We want to grow organically, and we're looking to do that with the right people. So hope you can help us out with that. Guys, Jeremy didn't put his number in there. I'm going to throw it in real quick, and he'll love me for it. Call Jeremy as well. Honestly, between the two of us, we're a little bit different in what we do. 702-525-5766. There's Jeremy's number. So make sure you reach out to Jeremy or I, either one. But guys, I hope you truly understand what we're trying to accomplish here. It's growing leaders. It's growing people. I want a bunch of people making a ton of money out of our programs. We've had a lot of people do it. I need to get some of our success stories. Yes, What's Up app is completely fine, Marshall. We have a lot of people that have reached out off YouTube saying they've already closed deals. I need to get more people on here to give their testimonials. William's a great one out of Indiana. Closed a couple transactions, joined our program less than 4 months ago, has already closed 15 deals with us so far, you guys. 15. And he's got like 6 or 7 more under contract. And he's a rookie, brand new agent. But this stuff works. We can get you where you need to be. And I just know if you'll take the time and do what we tell you to do, you will win every time. Every time. So guys, Thank you. Jeremy says he's free right now. You've got his phone number. Reach out to him. I also can take some calls, so make sure you reach out to me. Let's link up. Let's help you blow up this business. Hey, guys, appreciate you being on today. Have a great day. We'll see you.